wants to step into the pocket. Do you have what it takes? And now, the Pocket Presence Podcast, presented by FRESHOUSE Juice Bar and PILBROIII Inc.
How's it going, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Pocket Presence Podcast. I'm your host, Dante DeTomasis, alongside my co-host, Nick Saps.
How's it going, everybody?
And here we are, another edition, the first week of the playoffs edition. So hopefully you guys won your matchups. Nick, I know me. I went 0 for 4. Unbelievable luck that I had. But I know you won one, so at least there's one of us that's moving on. It's always great to hear. But before we get into that, we'd like to thank our sponsors, FRESHOUSE Juice Bar. Check them out, guys. They got 2 locations, one at Kiel and Major Mac, and one at Pine Valley and Highway 7. For the freshest of the freshest needs, you go to Mike. I'm telling you guys, that juice cleanse is going to come in handy when you need it, especially before the holidays.
And after the holidays.
And after the holidays.
Yeah.
It's going to be very, very important. Check out FRESHOUSE. And, of course, PILBROIII Carpentry. Check them out, guys. The Pelleggi family's been in the carpentry business for over 30 years for all your carpentry needs. Absolutely incredible. You go to Tony, they build homes and not houses. And, Nick, here we are. I mean, I don't even know where to start with these bananas of games this weekend. But it
was a crazy week.
What were some of your early takeaways from Week 14?
So my first takeaway was Jalen Hurts giving the Philadelphia Eagles a spark when they desperately needed it, and they didn't beat no slouch. They beat the New Orleans Saints who have a fantastic defense. Which was great for Jalen Hurts and massive for the Eagles because as embarrassing as it is for me to say, they still have a chance in that division, which is insane because it's the NFC East and it's absolute garbage. Speaking of the NFC East, another takeaway for me was the Washington football team not even scoring an offensive touchdown, just relying on the defense to create turnovers and turn them into touchdowns, which is what they did. Chase Young got his first career touchdown, so good for him and good for the football team. And I'm wearing it again. My fuck the Steelers shirt. That's my last takeaway. They absolutely got bullied by the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, and that was fantastic to see. So those were my main takeaways. And they're probably going to beat Cincinnati on Monday Night Football. But that's okay, because they're not winning the Super Bowl.
Nick, I got to tell you some of my takeaways. I mean, my Dolphins played extremely hard on the weekend.
They did.
Not every day Patrick Mahomes gets 3 interceptions. So I got to credit the Dolphins defense there, right at the stadium behind me at the Hard Rock. It was rocking. Honestly, if this was at full capacity, this game could have changed like crazy. This was Tua's best game by a mile, especially with the injuries that happened. Mike Gesicki later on, Devontae Parker. That's just a terrible loss. And of course, Nick, I got to bring up the Monday Nighter.
Absolutely.
This was the craziest game I've ever seen in my life.
Similar to that Rams-Chiefs game a few years ago on Monday Night Football as well.
Exactly.
It was.
It might have been even better than that, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure, definitely debatable.
It had a Hollywood ending, literally Hollywood to Hollywood. But I'll get into that one later. But I think I'm a little thirsty right now. Are you a little thirsty?
I'm always thirsty. You ready
to get juiced up? You ready to get juice cleanse going?
I'm ready to get juiced up.
All righty, here we go, guys. Week 14 scores presented by FRESHOUSE Juice Bar. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, Don.
Oh,
hi,
delicious.
I guess, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
That was a tie.
It was delicious as always.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, here we go, Nick. Thursday nighter of the opening day of the playoffs. New England Patriots and LA Rams. Cam Akers, Nick, in this one, 29 carries for 171 yards. Absolutely ridiculous game for him. Rams defense was stout as well. Rams taking 24-3.
Keep starting Akers.
Yeah, absolutely. Titans and Jags now, Nick. Moving on to the Sunday games. No, not much to talk about besides Derrick Henry running for 215 rushing yards against the Jacksonville Jaguars with 2 touchdowns to go with it. And that's in 3 quarters, Nick. It could have been scary. We'll get into it later if he can break the rushing record. Titans take it 31-10. Vikings and Buccaneers, Nick. Tom Brady versus Kirk Cousins in a huge NFC wildcard game here. The Bucs had to win. The Vikings had to win. But at the end of the day, it was the Bucs defense that made the difference in this one. Tom Brady was average at best.
And Dan Bailey missed a whole bunch of kicks.
Unbelievable. Buccaneers take it 26-14. Nick, we go on to my Chiefs versus the Chiefs versus my Dolphins. Absolutely incredible game here. It started off crazy. Miami got off to this beautiful start. They couldn't take advantage of those opportunities. And next thing you know, the Chiefs come roaring back because that's what they do. They know how to win football games. They can score points. Chiefs take it 33-27. Nick, another back and forth game here. Broncos and Panthers. Incredible game here. Drew Lock had a phenomenal game. Kenny Hamler burning Rasul Douglas so many times in that game. And Mike Davis, another big game for the Panthers. Broncos take it 32-27. Nick, this was a blowout. We go to Chicago for this one. Houston Texans and Chicago Bears. David Montgomery coming up big for everybody in the fantasy playoffs. 2 touchdowns in this one. What an absolute beast. Deshaun Watson was literally just Deshaun Watson. Couldn't do anything in this one.
Poor guy has no help.
I felt unbelievable. I felt bad for him, especially with no Cooks and no Will Fuller and no David Johnson. Crazy. Bears take it 36-7. Nick, here's another game where it was just a defensive clinic for the Arizona Cardinals this time. Cardinals and Giants. Daniel Jones comes back. You think the Giants are going to play a bit of a better game? Not really. He was running for his life the entire game. I forget the guy's name, but he had 5 sacks.
Hassan Reddick.
Hassan Reddick, definitely the MVP of the week for sure. And unbelievable.
Definitely the defensive MVP, absolutely.
5 sacks in 1 week, in one game. I can't believe that.
Game,
Cardinals take it 26-7. Nick, we're going to go quickly with this one. The return of Andy Dalton versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Take it away, Nick.
When you fumble 3 times on your first 3 possessions, you're going to lose. And that's what happens. Good for Andy Dalton for the revenge game. Cowboys take it. I'm trying to forget the score, but
30-7.
30-7. Yep.
All right, moving on to the 4:00 games, Nick. We had the Indianapolis Colts that were red hot coming into this one against Viva Las Vegas Raiders. Boy, oh boy, Phillip Rivers and T.Y. Hilton, Nick. Unbelievable game. And of course, you can't forget the workhorse in the back, Jonathan Taylor. He is really coming alive just when the Colts need him at most. Wow. Colts take it 44-27. Nick, moving on to Seattle, we have the New York Jets, who are absolutely pathetic, and we're definitely going to lose this game to the Seattle Seahawks. And Jamal Adams, the return of Jamal Adams against his former team. Boy, did he get some sweet revenge in this game.
And the Jets kicker missed, 3 or 4? Which
it's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, it still wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, absolutely.
Russell Wilson did his thing. Chris Carson didn't have to do much. Seahawks look great. They take it 40-3. Everybody looks great against the Jets.
Yes, they do.
Green Bay Packers and Detroit Lions. Nick, this was a really, really good game back and forth between Rodgers and Matthew Stafford. Too bad Stafford got hurt at the end there. Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, Nick. It's a broken record at this point. That combination, if you guys have anything in that combination, is going to win you the championship most likely. Packers take it 31-24. Atlanta Falcons and LA Chargers, Nick. This was a really low-scoring game, surprisingly. I thought this was going to be a shootout.
It was a sad game between two sad teams. Yeah,
exactly. I was expecting a lot better production. I mean, if you have Austin Eckler, the PPR machine, he just keeps doing his thing. He's an RB1 for sure.
Herbert didn't look...
No. Chargers take it with the field goal from Badgley, 20-17. And Nick, as we alluded to earlier, Washington football team versus the San Fran 49ers. The return of Alex Smith to San Francisco, unbelievable. So happy for him.
Cut short.
Exactly. Unfortunately, it was cut short. But, hey, the Washington defense stepped up for him, and they definitely won that game for Alex Smith. Chase Young and Montez Sweat. My God, that combination is going to be deadly for years to come.
Yes, it is.
The football team takes it 23-15. Nick, moving on to the debut on the starting position for Jalen Hurts against the Saints. Oh, boy, did he look fantastic, Nick.
He did.
I called this upset. I told many people I love the Eagles in this spot with Jalen Hurts. There wasn't much film on this kid, but looking at him from Oklahoma, boy, can this guy move outside of the pocket, and it's very unpredictable, and as a result, Miles Sanders had himself a day. He had himself a day because of it, and it opened up a lot for Philly. Philly looks fantastic now, especially with the defense. Eagles take it 24-21. Nick, moving to the Sunday Nighter, a huge Sunday Nighter, not just any Sunday Nighter, between the Pittsburgh Steelers, or as you like to call it, the Fraudsburg Steelers, versus the Buffalo Bills, and Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs lit this team up completely. I mean, the Bills should have had a lot more pending the weather. If the weather was a lot better, this could have been easily a blowout. But the Bills look great, man. They look great.
The defense really bullied that Steelers offense.
Exactly. They look unstoppable, the Bills, right now, to be honest.
Yep, they do.
Bills take it 26-15. And Nick, moving on to the greatest game of the season by far.
Game of the year, absolutely. Agreed.
Game of the decade, maybe. Honestly, I'm going to go that far.
Wow.
Between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns, Nick, this had Hollywood potential, and I'll get to that later. But we got to start off here in the first half. Back and forth, Jackson and Nick Chubb. Unbelievable. Touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. Then we go into the second half there. Lamar Jackson has a cramp or something. Everybody's going crazy. Trace McSorley comes in, blows his knee out, and all of a sudden, we're heading into commercial break. Lamar Jackson's trotting.
Sprints out of the tunnel, yeah.
So-called sprints out of the tunnel. They go right to commercial break. He comes in on fourth down. He throws it to Hollywood with a Hollywood ending. Hollywood Brown gets into the end zone. Unbelievable. Then Baker Mayfield comes back, throws a touchdown. Unbelievable. Then all of a sudden, Lamar Jackson gets the ball again. Goes right down the field. Justin Tucker with a 55-yard game-winning field goal. Are you kidding?
Incredible.
Unbelievable game.
Honestly, incredible.
And not even to mention this, too, but for anyone that bet the spread in this game, that was even more incredible because the Ravens were favored by 3, and somehow they get a safety at the end, and the ball's going back 30 yards. And Nick, 30 yards. I counted it again. The ball went back 30 yards to get that safety, the hardest earned safety I've ever seen in my life. Ravens take it 47-42. That was nothing but safe. And that, guys, is the Week 14 scores presented by Fresh House Juice Bar. So, Nick, that was bananas.
Oh, man.
I still can't believe that Ravens game. Let's get into that first because, I mean, you're heading into the night. You're thinking, okay, Baker Mayfield doesn't really have a great game against Baltimore, and the run game as well with Chubb and Kareem Hunt. We saw it in week 1.
And they got blown out in week 1.
Exactly, right? And I am very impressed with this Browns team. I am very impressed with this Browns team.
So am I.
Do you think they can make a run in the playoffs, Nick?
That's a tough question. They could easily win a playoff game because when you get late into the season, what really wears down a defense is the running game.
Right.
And the Browns have 2 incredible running backs, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And if they get a cold weather game, I know they're not going to be hosting that game per se. But if they go on the road in a cold environment, watch out, because I don't really know too many teams that are going to want to tackle Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But,
that ground game is amazing.
But with that being said, like, even though I am a Bengals fan and there's the Browns-Bengals rivalry, I could never hate Cleveland, because when they were so bad, it was guaranteed to start 2-0 against Cleveland. But I'm so happy for the Browns fans, the ones that have suffered through all these decades of futility and crappy football teams. It's incredible for them to finally play meaningful football games in December, and what a story it would be for the Cleveland Browns to win a playoff game.
Oh, for sure.
Especially, Odell Beckham is done for the year, and
I was just about to say that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and first year head coach Kevin Stefanski.
Yep.
First year offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt. It's incredible. It's incredible what they've done to the Browns in one season. Really, new GM as well, Andrew Berry.
Exactly.
It's great to see. Honestly, it's great to see, and it's fun to watch. I mean, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt running people over week to week.
Mm-hmm.
It honestly is really fun.
Well, the craziest thing is first off, they already got the one barrier where they got the winning season.
Mm-hmm.
But now, you're looking at a team that could easily win 11 games in the season here.
Yeah.
This is incredible. This is incredible. Yeah. They're going to come into the playoffs red hot. They got a defensive line that's really stout between Garrett and Olivier Vernon.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, they can run the football. And I didn't think they could run the football against Baltimore.
I didn't think so either.
But boy, did they ever with Chubb and Hunt. They manhandled that team.
And even Mayfield on a few scrambles.
Yep. No, it was an incredible game. It was an incredible game. Nick, I got to tell you too. After that Bills performance, I'm looking at the Bills right now. Can they take the Chiefs?
You saw it earlier in the season, and they lost by. They didn't look very good in that game.
No, but I think this is a different team now. That's my argument.
I think you're right. It is a different team, and they definitely have the offensive firepower to hang with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs' offense. The thing is, though, let's say in an average game of football, your team possesses the ball 6 to 8 times. Let's just say as an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're playing Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, you need to score 7 points on all those possessions, and
those takeaways for sure.
B, you need to win the turnover battle, and the most important thing is you need to make sure the drives that you're scoring on suck up a lot of that clock, because he can easily come down in 4 or 5 plays and put up 6-7 points on your defense. So
quickly too.
Yeah, extremely quickly. I mean, look, Tyreek Hill runs fast as can be. Like, I don't know.
He's a cheetah for a reason.
I don't know one guy that can keep up with that guy. And I mean, they can definitely take the Bills. They can definitely take the Chiefs. It's just going to be a matter of, are you going to score every time you possess the football?
Yeah. No, I agree, Nick. I agree. Obviously, with Miami, we had the right idea with the turnover battle.
Yep.
We just couldn't execute. We didn't have that firepower.
And then it might not seem like a big loss, but Miami was down to their 4th or 5th string running back. Maybe if they have Gaskin, who's been playing really well this season.
Control the clock a bit.
It's a little different, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, heck of a job by the Dolphins defense to force, I think 3 interceptions and a forced fumble.
Yes.
So 4 turnovers. I mean, that's incredible. And as we alluded to many times earlier in the season on the podcast, Brian Flores has done an amazing job with that Dolphins team. And if they get into the playoffs, anything can happen, right? It's the NFL.
Yeah. Well, that was
So
my next question for you, actually. Who's going to be the outlier here? So we have the Browns, we have the Ravens, we have the
mhm.
Colts and the Dolphins here, all fighting for the wild card spot. Nick, who do you think's not going to get in?
Who do I think isn't going to get in? Um, I want to say the Raiders don't get in.
Oh,
Um,
no, the Ravens, you're saying.
no, the Raiders.
Oh, the Raiders aren't going to get in, no.
You don't
I
think?
don't see,
Okay,
no, they got no chance.
are my choices Miami and Baltimore? Are you giving me just those two?
I'm giving you of the four that I said, the Browns, the Ravens, the Colts,
Mhm.
and the Dolphins, you got to pick three. So who's the outlier?
Oh, so who's not going to make the playoffs?
Yeah, who's not
Oh,
going to
okay.
make it?
Sorry. I thought the Raiders were in it.
No,
My
it's okay.
apologies. I don't know Miami's remaining schedule. And I know Baltimore has to play Cincinnati week 17. So
Yeah.
I want to say that Miami doesn't get in, but
Damn,
I just have this funny feeling that I don't think Baltimore is going to get in.
Really?
I don't
that's
think they're
bold.
going to get in, and I think that's strictly because they're so one-dimensional on offense that they're extremely run-heavy, and not too long ago, they just placed Hollywood Brown and Miles Boykin and James Prochet on the COVID list. That's 3 wide receivers in Baltimore, and they don't even have enough good ones as it is.
Yeah.
So if them being on the COVID list causes them to miss a game here or there, I have serious doubts about Baltimore getting in solely based on how one-dimensional they are.
That's true.
You know,
That's true. That's true.
That's who I think. I mean, I know they play Cincinnati week 17, and Cincinnati's not playing for anything.
Yeah.
They haven't been playing for anything the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And they did spoil Baltimore's playoffs. Was it 3 years ago? I believe it was 3 years ago. Andy Dalton and Tyler Boyd at the end to knock Baltimore out of the playoffs and bring Buffalo into it. So if it does come down to week 17, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, even if, Burrow or no Burrow.
Yeah.
The Bengals do play the Ravens hard, and that's a few of the reasons why I think Baltimore, even though they do have the easiest remaining schedule out of the 4 teams that you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
as like I said, the lack of a passing attack and their defense hasn't been too good lately. So I think they're the team that misses. Who do you think?
Well, I mean, the Steelers didn't help me out at all. So, they all they have to do is one thing. We lose to the Chiefs. The Bills have to lose to the Steelers. And Juju Smith
remain one game back.
Yeah, and Juju Smith-Schuster is too busy doing TikToks in the middle of the field.
Yeah, and dancing on the logo.
And dancing on the logo. And the guy looks like a loser, to be honest, doing that because you lost 2 in a row. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't even care that you got the touchdown because it really doesn't matter to me.
It didn't. No. The game was almost over at that point.
It was pretty much over. The Bills embarrassed them.
Mm-hmm.
And, I could see this being a dogfight between the Colts and the Dolphins. I know Indianapolis, it looks like they have the better schedule because, we got to go to Buffalo. We got to go into a cold, chilly Buffalo.
And New England, too.
Yeah, exactly. No, they're coming to South Florida. They're coming to Miami,
apologies.
Baby.
Sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
So, well, we'll see how that goes, too. I mean, we definitely don't have easy games there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So that should be interesting. The Colts, I know, have Pittsburgh coming up, so we'll see what happens
I believe that's week 16.
Exactly, in 2 weeks. So should be interesting. So, but Nick, let's get on to the Stardom Sims now.
Before we actually get into the Stardom Situm,
okay,
I want to ask you one thing.
Yeah.
Just a simple yes or no answer. Would you pick up Jalen Hurts off the waiver wire and start him in a playoff matchup against the fantasy playoff matchup against the Arizona Cardinals
No, I'm saving it for the finals, baby. I'm saving
Okay.
him against the Cowboys, baby.
But you would pick him up this week to stash him on the bench?
You know what? I don't think
Because
anyone's picking him up this week.
you don't think? I think people
No.
are going to buy the hype.
Maybe for the final.
Sure.
If he puts out a really good performance this week, I'm telling you that waiver wire pickup in the final is going to be crucial. So we'll get into that with the stardom sit-ems right now.
Yep.
Nick,
Your first
we're gonna
quarterback
start with the
starts.
quarterbacks. I had Phillip Rivers last week.
Mhm.
If that was a closer game, Phillip Rivers would have hit big time.
Yep.
But Jonathan Taylor and the Colts defense ran the show there. Him and T.Y. Hilton, Nick, another unbelievable connection there. But for my quarterback start this week, we're going to keep it simple, guys. We're going to pick on the Jets. We're going to go Jared Goff, because Jared Goff is going to go off in this one. And it's very simple. Cam Akers had, a lot of touches last week. He was clearly the workhorse. But what I saw from that Seattle game was, Russell Wilson still was able to get fantasy points here. So look for 20 plus points from Jared Goff. Very secure, very, very good safety net for a quarterback. Take Jared Goff. Nick, what do you got for sitting?
For sitting, I'm going to sit Tua versus the New England Patriots and that Bill Belichick defense, solely for the fact that Bill and that defense eats rookie quarterbacks alive. I mean, you saw what they did to Herbert.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised if they limited Tua and they forced him into a turnover here or there. And
exactly.
I'm sitting them, especially because it's playoffs in fantasy leagues around.
Right.
So I can't trust or justify playing Tua in a playoff matchup against the New England Patriots.
No, I hear you, Nick.
Running
Nick,
backs?
For my running backs, I'm going to go a little bit off the grain here. I know. Okay, guys, let me just tell you guys straight. If you're going up against Derrick Henry, just start praying, because I went up against him last week in two of my matchups. So I already had an uphill battle. I already knew heading into the week. 35 points last week, Nick. He's got the Detroit Lions this week. I'm going to argue I think he gets 300 rushing yards in this game.
Wow.
If he truly wants to break Eric Dickerson's record, we'll see how Mike Vrabel approaches this game. But Derrick Henry must get 300 yards easily to break Eric Dickerson's record here in this game. So I could see that happening. That's my boldest take of the week. But I'm going to go with my running back. I'm going to go J.K. Dobbins.
Nice. Okay.
I see this game panning out they're going to take it easy a bit with Lamar after the running and everything he went through, especially the cramping. He ran a lot. He ran really heavy in the first half of that game. So I think J.K. Dobbins takes the load early, pounds the rock with Jacksonville, gets in a few times. Obviously, you got to watch Gus Edwards there as well, because he could take away carries. But I think they're going to start rolling with J.K. Dobbins. Give me J.K. Dobbins. Nick, what about you?
It's been a recurring theme in starts and sits amongst a whole bunch of fantasy writers, and you cannot run the ball against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. And this week they're going up against Atlanta, and I am plastering Todd Gurley to my bench, because the Bucs defense has been phenomenal against the run. So I'm sitting Gurley, even if he gets in, whatever, he has 10 carries for 30 yards and a touchdown. You need more production,
right? So
I'm sitting Gurley.
Nick, I gotta agree with you there. Even though I predicted too, Dalvin Cook would get in the end zone against the Buccaneers. But then again, it's Dalvin Cook. He's the guy's matchup proof.
You're gonna start him anyways.
Exactly. Very tough individual. Nick, I gotta go with wide receivers now in this one. I got to go Terry McLaurin here, Nick. He's got to wake up here. The matchup's here, Nick. The matchup is here. He cost a lot of people, I can tell you, this week in the playoffs. But,
Yep.
If you somehow made it with him, congrats to you.
Yep.
I had him in one of my leagues. I did not make it with him. But Terry McLaurin is going to go off against the Seahawks. Take Terry McLaurin. Start him.
I'm going to sit Tyler Boyd this week versus Pittsburgh on Monday Night Football. The targets have gone down since Joe Burrow got injured. And, Brandon Allen's at quarterback. And although Boyd had 13 points against Miami, that was one catch, 72 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Last week against a very poor Dallas Cowboys defense, 5 catches for, I believe it was 40-ish yards. And now he's going up against Pittsburgh, who in the first matchup also limited him, and that was with Joe Burrow. So I'm going to keep Tyler Boyd on my bench, or just going to sit him against the Steelers this week.
That's a great sit. That's a great sit. I mean, I was frustrated too because I traded for T. Higgins earlier in the year in 2 of my leagues.
Mm-hmm.
And I was dying for this moment for Week 14 for him to play the Cowboys and just light that team up. I probably would have said last week to start Joe Burrow for sure against the Cowboys.
Absolutely.
But it's a damn shame that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So Nick, let's move on to tight ends here.
Mm-hmm.
For the tight end, it's very difficult sometimes.
It's so unpredictable week to week.
I think this week is the week Robert Tonyan gets a touchdown. He's been lacking a bit in the Green Bay offense, but I think Aaron Rodgers is going to get this guy involved. Carolina is another great matchup here. There's something wrong with Aaron Jones. I don't know why he's not.
Yeah, they keep rotating him and Jamal Williams.
It's really, wow. It's shocking to me because, I went against Aaron Jones last week too, and I had him in one of my leagues. But that was another shocking result against the Lions. Rodgers stole a rushing touchdown from him. So we'll see what happens there between Tonyan and Jones. But I think those two are the big indicators here. They bounce back in a big way in Carolina.
Yep, cool. I agree.
So what about you, Nick?
For my sit, he's been one of the most inconsistent fantasy tight ends all season, and I don't care what defense he's going up against. I don't think I could trust him right now, and that's Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, it's a great point.
Because every time I've seen game breaks of Tennessee and whoever they're playing, I see a lot of 2 tight end sets, 3 tight end sets, and Anthony Ferkser, if I pronounced that wrong, I apologize.
Yeah. No, it's okay, Ferkser.
He's been stealing a lot of targets, and he's gotten in the end zone a few times in the last couple of weeks. So this is it. This is the semifinals this week of the fantasy playoffs. I know we've said it a whole bunch, but I don't think you can trust Jonnu Smith.
No, not at
all.
So
I'm sure there's other options that you can just hope for a touchdown on the waiver wire.
Exactly.
So you could probably go pick up someone like, I don't know, maybe a Logan Thomas.
Who's a big sleeper, Nick? Who's a big sleeper? I'll tell you right now for tight ends.
Sure.
Dan Arnold. If you guys want that touchdown, I'm telling you that's a massive sleeper. He's low key. Nobody has any idea about him. You're probably only going to hear it here on the Pocket Presence podcast. Dan Arnold, especially if you're really desperately looking for a tight end, look out for him. He could sneak into the end zone.
And one more thing too, just for everybody out there that's listening, there's a Thursday night game, of course, and there's also Saturday games. So
yes,
make sure there's, I think, 2 games on Saturday. I know the Packers and the Panthers is one of them.
Bills and Broncos is the other.
Bills and Broncos. Make sure to set your lineups. You don't want to wake up Sunday morning and see a goose egg from, I don't know, a guy like Noah Fant or someone like that. So
exactly.
Make sure you're setting your lineups. Be proactive, and best of luck to everyone in this week.
Exactly. Best of luck, guys. Hopefully, I mean, anyone could have better luck than me compared to last week. I definitely been through a lot, especially with, I needed Baltimore to lose to help out Miami a bit. So everything just went wrong for me last week. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna bounce back in a big way, Nick. We're gonna help
Of
people
course.
out here, and that's what we do at the Pocket Presence Podcast. And that's it for us, guys. Stay tuned for more episodes. Thank you again to our sponsors, Fresh House Juice Bar and PILBROIII Carpentry. Follow us on Instagram at the Pocket Presence Pod and on YouTube at the Pocket Presence Podcast for videos like this one. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching, guys.
See ya.